Time to get special jewels from the special Kris dungeon, and yeah, I got the worst one, I think. I feel.
7K dreamer, please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is the launch of the new Mythical Awakened Kris Special Jewel Dungeon, but we're gonna look at his skill set first. He increases block rate for himself, status effect resist rate drop on the frontline enemies, which is us, and he also has immortality for 4 turns and increases his counter rate as well. For his first skill, he deals 500% to 4 enemies and has a 75% chance to apply death. And for his second skill, 600% to 3 enemies with the highest attack, it's 80% chance to apply death and decrease buff duration. So this is definitely gonna hit your DPS. His awakened skill deals 400% to 4 enemies, 75% chance to apply death, and resets his skill cooldown, so he will move pretty fast in terms of his skill use, and his effect attack also does land death. So the team I'll be using is the Shane team first. I will also have the GELIDUS and VELIKA team for you guys to reference to. I'm using Karin here for a 4-turn death immunity. Okay, you can always go with other units with death immunity like GELIDUS, who has 12 turns. Of course, if you do not have a GELIDUS, this is probably your easiest team to set up. And these are my masteries which you can follow, and we're gonna head in right away. Eileen is here to buff Shane's attack, Karin for death immunity, Yuri for crit and crit damage increase, and Fenrir for lethal rate increase. Fenrir actually also for crit and lethal damage increase, and also for block nullification because he does have 30% block, and you don't want that to ruin your damage and your whole run. So the reason why I'm casting his top skill is to really cast the block nullification so that Kris cannot block me anymore, and then proceed to kill off with Shane. He is slightly tanky, okay, even with the gear I'm on, so you may face some difficulty, but he doesn't do too much damage if you do have proper HP armor. So actually with one strike, he's already down to immortal form, so at this point you have to use buff duration reduction skills. If you do have the GELIDUS Might accessory on your units, that's even better, but I do not, and I'm gonna just use Fenrir's turn decrease to bring down his immortality turn count. Eileen also has a buff duration reduction skill on her top skill, so you can use that as well. But if you don't want to waste too much time, you can actually just use one skill. Okay, 1 turn decrease and just let time run out. He does unfortunately cast death because he does have turn decrease, so he decreased my Karin's death immunity by 1 turn. And he does kill off Fenrir and Eileen here, which is unfortunate. Thankfully, my Shane still survived, but anyway, he's already on 1 HP, so all it matters is that you just touch him the moment his immortality runs out. So this is the gear for my Shane, speed and crit, because I do have 100% lethal with Fenrir and guild buff, and I also have Shane's self-increasing crit rate. Double counter, I think counter is much more efficient here because you want to deal as much damage as possible within the shortest period of time, especially if you are a newer player and you do not have enough gear. Okay, the standard jewels, PvE, physical attack increase, skill cooldown and crit and lethal damage, these are obtained from guild rate. Okay, revolutionary jewels are obtained from guild rate, and I do have a berserker ring and a celestial sharpness given to her, but you do not have to give her such a build. Okay, you can give her just a lethal crit damage increase, or just more damaging accessories will be okay. I also have my fighter soul for universal heroes, so you do not really have to worry too much about that. Just make sure your traits are appropriate as well, because I didn't have the traits for her. For Eileen and the rest of the frontline, actually you can just give them HP armor. They are not too frail. Okay, HP armor will definitely allow them to survive for a longer period of time. Willful ring is preferable. If you do have the guardian ring, that's also fine, because you see that the turn count actually, you only reach until turn 4 or 5. So I think even if you give guardian ring, they won't take too much damage. So the next thing I'll be showing you guys is the GELIDUS team. Now I really had an issue finding the last hero here, so I just threw in Dylan's because I assumed that everyone should have a Dylan's. Dylan's will reduce 2000 defense, and this does not stack with Yuri, unfortunately, so it really depends on your preference. I decided to cast Yuri anyway, and also cast same skill rotation, cast Fenrir's top skill to land the block nullification. GELIDUS himself has 12 turn death immunity provided, so you don't have to worry too much at all in this entire run, because I'm pretty sure if you give the GELIDUS your best PvE gear, he should be able to take down Kris within 12 turns. Currently my GELIDUS is using the same gear that my Shane used previously, so yeah, I'm pretty sure it's very doable with GELIDUS and you don't have to worry as well. So one shot and he goes into immortal form. Now again, same thing, do the turn decrease. But because you're using GELIDUS, so if you don't want to use skills at this point and just prefer to let basic attacks run for a faster overall run, you can do that. So you just turn off auto skill and just let your heroes, attack Kris with their basic attacks, and Kris will just use his own skills, which won't do much and have no death, so you don't have to care. I still took the longer way round here because I realized actually using Eileen's skill consumes a little bit more time. Yeah, and Yuri just basic attacks him to death, so that's pretty much it. Now the next team is the VELIKA team, and I'm using this gear set. Speed, crit, similar to Shane, okay, but double HP. You can give her counter, it's definitely okay. Increase awakening gauge, standard jewels for VELIKA, and you'll see the accessory I've given her is a very basic crit damage increase, okay? And I'm using Mercure here, surprise. Mercure actually provides 6 turns death immunity to your entire team, so it's longer than Karin, so it's a lot safer in case you fail to do as much damage to him as I did. And definitely also doable with VELIKA because ultimately VELIKA does hit down very hard with her awakened skill. And you do realize that I do have 4 magic units here. Okay, so if you actually decide to use Yonji as a pet over Kale, I think that's completely fine, and in fact a lot better. If you do have Harin as well, I think it's a lot better than Kale here. Yeah, so as you can see, she gets her awakened skill very fast. That's because I do have awakened skill guild buff as well, charge speed guild buff. So unfortunately Mercure doesn't have any turn decrease skill, so I cannot use any. I was thinking of trying him out, but never mind, just use Fenrir. In this case I let the turn count run. Yeah, so I just let Mercure basic attack him to death, and yeah, that's 3 different teams, 3 different DPSs, 3 different death immunity providers for your consideration. So let me know if you guys have difficulty for this dungeon, and if you guys have new teams, do let me know as well. I know that some people may choose to use Rudy to have skill nullification against death. That's completely fine as well. And do let me know how it goes. Big shout out to my channel members, Nick Eclipse, DMD Phoenix, Reggie Bautista, Doppelganger for the support. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much and see you!